Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like the person staring back at you is not the person you are meant to become? That voice inside your head, the one that whispers, "You're not enough," or "This is who you are," has been holding you back far longer than you realize. You may go through the motions of life pretending everything is fine, but deep down you feel stuck, constrained by habits, fears and patterns that no longer serve you. What if I told you that you have the power to completely erase the old version of yourself and rebuild a new, unstoppable you? If you stay with this video till the end, you will discover the mindset, strategies, and psychological truths that can ignite a transformation so profound, it will change the course of your life forever. The truth is, most people live life carrying the weight of their past. Every mistake, every failure, every moment of doubt has been stored in their mind like a chain, quietly limiting their potential. Psychology teaches us that the human brain clings to familiar patterns even when they harm us. It prefers the comfort of the known over the uncertainty of growth. That is why many never change. They keep repeating the same cycles, unaware that these cycles are not their destiny. They are merely habits that can be broken. The old you exists only because you have allowed it to persist, but this is the moment when that can stop. Transformation begins with a simple but powerful realization. You are not defined by who you were yesterday. The old you is a construct, a series of habits, beliefs and fears that once protected you but now hold you back. Every limiting thought, every toxic belief, and every unproductive routine is part of the old version of yourself. And if you cling to them, you will continue living a life dictated by circumstances, by other people's expectations, and by fears that are not even real. But if you decide today to break free, to erase the old self, and to rebuild consciously, everything changes. Think about this. Every moment you hesitate, the old patterns continue to control you. Every time you convince yourself that change is too hard, you are reinforcing the old identity. Your mind is wired to accept repetition. If you keep repeating the same thoughts and actions, you remain the same person. But the power of the human mind is incredible. Neuroscience shows that every thought, every decision, and every habit rewires the brain. This means you are never trapped. You are capable of creating a completely new identity, a new self that operates from strength, clarity, and purpose. Rebuilding yourself is not about erasing memories or denying your past. It is about letting go of what no longer serves you. It is about shedding fear, doubt, and insecurity so that your mind can operate freely. It is about creating habits, thoughts, and beliefs that align with the person you are meant to become. Imagine a life where your decisions are no longer dictated by fear, where your confidence is unshakable, and where your energy attracts opportunities instead of obstacles. This life is possible, but it requires courage and commitment. And here is the promise. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to identify the parts of the old you that are holding you back, how to release them, and how to start constructing the new version of yourself today. You will learn how to use the power of your mind, your habits, and your focus to step into a life where you are no longer a prisoner of your past. You will discover the psychological keys to breaking old patterns and creating unstoppable momentum toward your goals. The journey starts with one decision: to no longer accept the limits of the old you. The old self will resist. It will try to convince you that change is impossible. But that resistance is a sign that transformation is near. That discomfort is proof that the new version of yourself is ready to emerge. Embrace it and you will step into a world where fear no longer dictates your actions, doubt no longer clouds your vision, and hesitation is replaced with decisive action. Your old self may have kept you small, but the new you is limitless. Your mind, your habits, and your beliefs can be rebuilt from the ground up. You can become stronger, more focused, more confident, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. The person you were yesterday does not define who you can be tomorrow. By the time this video ends, you will have the tools, insights, and motivation to erase the old you completely and begin building a new self that is unshakable, unstoppable, and ready to conquer life with clarity, courage, and purpose. It begins now. It begins with the decision to see yourself not as you were, but as you are meant to become. Every thought you change, every habit you break, and every fear you face brings you closer to the new. Stay focused, absorb these lessons, and by the end, you will know how to step fully into your new life, free from the chains of the past, free to rise, free to become extraordinary. The person you see in the mirror today is not who you truly are. Psychology confirms that every human being has untapped potential, energy, and capability waiting to be awakened. The problem is not lack of ability, it is lack of. You reclaim your power, your focus, and your peace. Another part of letting go is detaching from limiting beliefs. Thoughts like I'm not capable, I failed too many times, or I'm not enough are remnants of the old you. They are chains disguised as truth. Each time you challenge and replace them with empowering beliefs, you weaken the grip of the past and open space for the new you to emerge. Your potential expands when your mind is free from old constraints. Finally, letting go is an act of courage. It requires confronting discomfort, facing fear, and trusting that releasing the past will not leave you empty. It will leave you powerful. When you let go, you create a clear path for transformation. You allow yourself to step fully into a life defined by purpose, clarity, and unshakable confidence. The new you cannot emerge until the old you is released, and the moment you choose freedom, the first true step towards rebuilding begins. Before you can rebuild yourself, you must first identify what is holding you back. Your life is filled with habits, thoughts, and relationships that either lift you or drain you. Psychology shows that repeated patterns shape behavior, emotions, and even self-perception. Anything that constantly saps your energy, instills doubt, or keeps you stuck is part of the old you that must be released. Transformation cannot begin until you recognize what no longer serves your growth. Begin by examining your thoughts. What do you tell yourself every day? Yourself every day. Are your inner dialogues filled with encouragement, or are they riddled with criticism and limitation? The old you thrives on negative self-talk, convincing you that you are not capable, not worthy, or not ready. These thoughts are subtle but destructive. Each time you give them attention, you reinforce habits that prevent progress. Awareness is the first step toward breaking free. Next, look at your habits, which routines lift your energy and which drain it. Repeating unproductive patterns, procrastinating, or clinging to comfort zones strengthens the old self. Psychology confirms that habits are neurological pathways. The more you follow them, the stronger they become. Identifying habits that no longer serve you allows you to disrupt these pathways and begin creating new, empowering routines. Relationships also play a critical role. The people around you influence your energy, confidence, and mindset more than you realize. Those who constantly bring criticism, negativity, or distraction are anchors to the old self. Letting go or limiting these influences is not selfish. It is necessary for transformation. Your environment shapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive energy fuels growth instead of resistance. Finally, examine emotional patterns. Are there fears, resentments, or doubts you keep returning to? These feelings are indicators of what still binds the old you. By acknowledging them without judgment, you can begin to release their hold. Your energy is precious, and holding on to what drains you weakens the foundation of the new self. Identifying what no longer serves you is not about blame or guilt. It is about clarity. It is about seeing clearly which elements of your life are aligned with growth and which are not. Only when you recognize and remove these obstacles can you begin rebuilding a self that is stronger, freer, and unstoppable. The new you waits, but the old weight must first be lifted. Growth never happens inside comfort. The old you has always relied on safety, habits, routines, and familiar patterns that keep you small. Psychology shows that the brain resists change because it equates familiarity with security, but security without growth is stagnation. The person you are meant to become cannot emerge while you remain trapped in the known. Breaking free from comfort is not optional if you want transformation. It is essential. The first step is recognizing where comfort has become a cage. Which routines keep you stuck? Which fears prevent you from taking bold action? The old you clings to these patterns because they are predictable, even if they limit your potential. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you reinforce the old identity and delay the emergence of your new self. Awareness of this truth is the first act of courage. Stepping out of comfort requires small but deliberate actions. Facing fear does not mean leaping blindly into danger. It means taking controlled, intentional steps toward growth. Each step challenges your old habits, stretches your mind, and expands your possibilities. Psychology confirms that repeated exposure to discomfort rewires neural pathways, making courage and adaptability stronger over time. The more you practice stepping beyond comfort, the more automatic and natural growth becomes. Discomfort is proof that transformation is underway. Every moment you feel resistance, hesitation, or fear, it is the old self fighting to stay in control. That struggle is a sign of progress. Instead of retreating, lean into it. Each time you embrace discomfort, you build resilience, confidence, and a foundation for a new identity. The new you is forged in moments when fear meets action and old patterns are. Breaking comfort zones also means rethinking what you accept in your life. Are you tolerating mediocrity because it feels easy? Are you avoiding opportunities because they feel unfamiliar? The path to the new self requires intentional choices that align with growth, not ease. Every challenge you accept, every risk you take, and every boundary you set against stagnation strengthens the new identity. Transformation thrives in discomfort. The moment you step beyond what feels safe, you step into power. Your mind becomes sharper, your courage grows, and your soul strengthens within. The old you resists, but the new you emerges. The life you desire is always outside the comfort zone, waiting for the moment you choose to rise above fear and claim it. The mind is the most powerful tool you have, but it can also be your greatest obstacle. The old you has been shaped by limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts that quietly dictate your choices. Psychology shows that the thoughts we repeat most often create neural pathways, which become automatic behaviors and habits. If your mind is programmed with doubt, fear, or negativity, it will keep producing the same old results. To build the new you, you must reprogram your mindset from the ground up. Reprogramming begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts and notice the ones that keep you small. Do you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not worthy? These thoughts are not truth. They are habits of the old self. Every time you accept them, you reinforce the identity that no longer serves you. Awareness gives you the power to question them, to challenge them, and to replace them with thoughts that support growth, courage, and confidence. Affirmations are a simple but powerful tool for reprogramming your mind. By repeating statements that reflect the person you want to become, you create new neural patterns. Words like I am capable, I am strong, and I am unstoppable gradually reshape your self-perception. Psychology confirms that the brain cannot distinguish fully between imagined experiences and real ones. When you consistently affirm your strength and potential, your mind begins to act as if it is already true. Another key is focus. Where you place your attention determines the reality you create. If your focus is on fear, doubt, or failure, your mind will continuously produce outcomes that match these thoughts. But if your attention is directed towards solutions, growth, and possibility, your brain starts searching for opportunities, ideas, and actions that align with the new you. Focus is the bridge between thought and transformation. Finally, mindset reprogramming requires consistency. One positive thought or affirmation is not enough. The old self resists change, so you must repeat new patterns until they become automatic. With daily practice, your beliefs, habits, and actions begin to align with the version of yourself you are creating. Reprogramming your mindset is not magic. It is deliberate, persistent effort. Each thought you change, each limiting belief you replace, and each moment of focus on your potential strengthens the foundation of your new identity. When your mind shifts, everything shifts. The new you begins to act, think, and live from strength, clarity, and unstoppable purpose. Discipline is the bridge between the old you and the new you. Motivation alone is temporary. It comes and goes with emotions, circumstances, and mood, but discipline is steady. It is the force that carries you forward even when fear, doubt, or fatigue try to stop you. Psychology shows that consistent, repeated actions create habits, and habits shape identity. To rebuild yourself, you must commit to disciplined action, even when it feels uncomfortable or unnecessary. Consistency amplifies discipline. Small actions, repeated daily, compound into massive results over time. Every early morning you wake up with purpose, every task you complete despite resistance, and every time you choose growth over comfort strengthens the foundation of the new you. The old self prefers shortcuts, procrastination, and excuses because they feel easier, but the new self thrives in deliberate, repeated effort. Progress is not instant, but it is inevitable when you refuse to quit. Discipline is also meant. It is the ability to focus your energy, resist distractions, and follow through on commitments. Every time you honor your word to yourself, you reinforce self-trust. Psychology confirms that self-trust is a key predictor of success, confidence, and emotional resilience. When you are consistent in small actions, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, and committed to growth. Consistency does not mean perfection. You will falter, make mistakes, and face setbacks. What matters is returning to the path over and over again without letting failure define you. Out you would quit, blame circumstances, or give in to excuses. The new you uses setbacks as feedback, learning, adapting, and continuing forward with renewed focus. Each disciplined action, no matter how small, chips away at the old patterns and builds the new identity stronger than before. Embracing discipline and consistency transforms your life because it aligns your actions with your vision. Thoughts, intentions, and desires alone are not enough. The new you requires daily proof through action. With persistent effort, habits solidify, mindset strengthens, and inner power grows. Every day you commit to disciplined action, you step closer to a version of yourself that is unstoppable, confident, and fully alive. Discipline is the engine, consistency is the fuel. Together, they drive the transformation from the old limited self to the empowered, limitless new you. The more you practice, the more automatic this process becomes, and the closer you get to becoming the person you are always meant to be. Strength is not just physical, it is emotional, mental, and spiritual. The old you reacts to every challenge, fear, and criticism with doubt and hesitation. Emotional strength is the armor of the new you. Psychology shows that resilient individuals recover from setbacks faster, manage stress more effectively, and make decisions with clarity. Building emotional strength allows you to face life's storms without being swept away by fear or negativity. Emotional strength begins with awareness of your feelings. Recognize when fear, anger, or self-doubt arise. These emotions are signals, not commands. The old self allows them to dictate actions, keeping you trapped in cycles of hesitation and regret. The new you observes them, acknowledges them, and chooses how to respond.